In every corner of the world, across every culture, humans have grappled with the mystery of death. We've given it faces, names, and stories. Gods who guide the dead, judge the soul, or harvest life with a single touch. These death gods are more than just grim figures. They reflect how we view mortality itself. Today, we're diving deep into the underworlds of myth and legend to meet the gods of death from different mythologies. Let's begin in ancient Egypt. The Egyptians believed death was not the end, but a passage, a journey to another world. Guiding them through this journey was Anubis, the jackal-headed god. Anubis was the guardian of the dead, the one who embalmed the corpses and watched over mummification. He weighed the hearts of the deceased against the feather of truth. If your heart was light, you moved on to the afterlife, but if it was heavy with sin, you were devoured by a demon. Anubis wasn't just a symbol of death. He was justice in the land of the dead. From the deserts of Egypt, we move to the dark, misty underworld of the Greeks. Hades, the god of the dead, ruled over the realm of shadows. Contrary to popular belief, Hades wasn't evil. He wasn't the devil. He was stern, cold, and impartial. Hades didn't kill. He didn't judge. He simply ruled over those who had already crossed the final threshold. His kingdom was a gray place where most souls wandered forever, not tormented, not rewarded, just existing. His three-headed dog, Cerberus, stood at the gates, making sure the dead stayed in and the living stayed out. Hades reminds us of death's inevitability, quiet, distant, yet always watching. Traveling further east, we arrive in India, where Hindu mythology introduces us to Yama, the god of death and justice. Yama is one of the oldest gods of death, mentioned in the Rig Veda, one of the most ancient religious texts in the world. He rides a buffalo and carries a noose which he uses to pull the soul from the body. But Yama is not a villain. He's the judge of souls. After death, he listens to your deeds, weighs your karma, and decides your next rebirth. Heaven or hell, or rebirth as something else entirely. It's Yama who makes the call. In some depictions, he is calm and wise, showing us that death is not to be feared, but respected. Now let's walk the path into Norse mythology. Here, death is personified by Hel, the goddess of the underworld. Hel is the daughter of Loki, half alive and half dead, her face and body divided between beauty and decay. She rules over the realm also called Hell, where those who die of sickness or old age end up. It's a cold, shadowy place, not full of fire and brimstone, but silence. The warriors who died in battle go to Valhalla, but those who die unheroic deaths go to Hell's domain. She doesn't torture them, but she doesn't embrace them either. She is the stillness after life, the silence after the scream. Crossing the ocean, we land in Mesoamerica, among the Aztecs. Here we meet Mictlantecutli, the skeletal god of the underworld. He ruled over Mictlan, the lowest and darkest level of the afterlife. To reach it, a soul had to journey for 4 years, through mountains, rivers, and challenges. Mictlantecutli was a god of death, yes, but not of evil. Death to the Aztecs wasn't final, it was a transformation. The god himself is often shown with blood and bones, standing in a deathly throne, wearing an owl-feathered headdress. The owl, in their mythology, was a symbol of death's approach. From South America, we journey north to Japan. In Shinto belief, there is the goddess Izanami, who once created life, and then became the goddess of death. She and her husband Izanagi created the islands of Japan, but when she died, giving birth to a fire god, she descended to Yomi, the land of the dead. When Izanagi came to rescue her, he saw her true, decayed form. Ashamed, she swore vengeance, promising to take 1,000 lives every day. Izanagi responded that he would create 1,500 new ones. Thus began the cycle of birth and death. Izanami is both creator and destroyer, a haunting reminder that life and death are inseparable. Let's now visit Africa, where the Yoruba people speak of Oya, the goddess of storms, change, and death. Oya is fierce and powerful, a warrior goddess who controls the winds of transformation. She guards the gates of the cemetery and ushers souls to the next world, but she also brings change to the living. Death to Oya is not just an end. It's a storm that clears the old and makes space for the new. She dances in the whirlwind, reminding us that death isn't just loss, it's transition. And finally, let's turn to Slavic mythology. Here, death was often personified as Marana, the goddess of winter, decay, and the dying of the seasons. She is the icy breath that comes with the end of life. Villages would create dolls of Marana and burn or drown them to symbolize the end of winter and the rebirth of spring. But she was never gone for good. Death always returns. Marana shows us that death is part of the cycle, terrifying, yes, but natural. Across all these cultures, death gods aren't just grim reapers. They are guides, judges, guardians, and sometimes creators. They reflect our fears, our hopes, and our attempts to understand the final mystery. Some are cruel, some are kind, and some are simply there, silent witnesses to the end of every life. In learning about them, maybe we learn a little more about ourselves and about what waits for us all in the dark. Remember, in the end, no one escapes the gods of death, but perhaps knowing their names makes the journey a little less lonely.